Easy. All right, so let's go ahead and start this project. So really all we need to do is start with a new composition. So you can either click new composition here, or you can go up to the top, click new composition, and you can name it anything you want. I'm going to just keep it comp one and just set it to 1920 to 1080 and 29.97 frame rate is fine. I mean, you can go to 30 if you want. So set it the duration to whatever you need. So if you're setting it to an audio that is a specific duration, go ahead and change it here. Background color doesn't matter unless you're going to utilize that as part of your visual. Select one that's appropriate for you and go ahead and hit OK. So now the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to create the audio spectrum. It's really easy. You can either click up here and go to layer, new, and go to solid, or you can just come down here. You can right click, go to new, and then go to solid from here. Now you can name this solid anything you want. I'm just going to leave it the same, and it should be 1920 by 1080, same as your composition, and I'm just going to keep the black and then click OK. So the next thing we need to do is we need to just click on the solid, make sure the solid's selected, come up here to effects, and then come all the way down here to generate, and then do audio spectrum. If for some reason audio spectrum didn't show in that list here, go over here to effects and presets. If it does not show here, click on Windows, go to effects and check effects and presets, and it should show right over here. And then you can just type in audio spectrum and you can select it from there. But anyways, now that we got the audio spectrum selected, now we need to make some changes. But before we do that, we have to add our audio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the audio that I have into the composition. You can just drop it right in there. And now we need to target that. So select the solid, come up to the top right here, click the arrow, and then select your audio in the list. And now when we hit play, you'll see that it's animated. So what we're going to do now is we're not even going to make any changes yet. We're going to create a shape, and you can select any shape you want. I'm going to use a circle. The star is a little bit harder to work with, but can be done. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw a circle real quick. We can change the size of it later. It's not a big deal. And I'm just going to click over here on the selection tool so that way I can just select in here. And now you can just move it around any way you want. And you can actually just resize it, whatever. But we're not worried about that. So go ahead and hit play. And you're going to see nothing happen. So what we need to do is come up here to where it says path, and we'll select the arrow, and now we select mask 1. Now if we hit play, now you can see it. Well, we're going to change the size of that in just a second, but if you don't want the circle to be showing all the time, you can toggle the visibility of that to off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come into here and we're going to make a few changes. The first thing we're going to change here is I'm going to change this 2000 to 300. And typically this is going to be about 100. And that just is the band on that's how many are going to be showing in here. So for example, if I change this to 25, that's how many you're going to see. Not very many. So we want to go ahead and do 100 to 200. So I'm going to do 110. And for maximum height, that's the end height, how, when the music gets powerful or louder, that's where you're going to get that. You can do 700 to 800. I'm going to do 750. You can actually do anything here. Just test out. Just change the settings and hit play and see if you like it. As you can see, it's getting a little bit more shape to it. So now the next thing is thickness. So you can do any thickness you want. I'm going to throw it on 10 just so you can see a little bit better. And as you can see, we're starting to take some shape. So now here you can drop this down, the softness down to 50 or to 0. Now, you can change the color if you want to. I'm going to leave it the same for now, but you can also, if you want to get some different coloration in it, if you come down here to hue and interpolation, you turn this a little bit and you notice the blues that come in and the greens and the yellows. You get that nice little color here. So we have it pretty much, this is pretty much done. I mean, only thing we can do here is we can change the display options to, say analog if you wanted to. So it gives you a little bit different look there. And, or you can go to analog dots, kind of strange, but also an option. So I'm going to change it back to digital, and you can change it to A and B. So right now it's on A and B, so it's going to both sides. So we're going to, for this circle, I'm going to use B. So that just goes outside because I'm going to create more circles. So you most certainly can, if you want, do A and B so that it goes both sides. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to change it back to B. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this because what I'm ready to do is create the rest of this graphic that I created. Now, if you're not interested in learning this, you can also go fast forward to the to learn how to animate your logo. So what I'm going to do is select the solid. I'm going to go Control D, and that just duplicates it. So immediately, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click the new one that was made, and I'm going to rename it to the solid 2, just so that when it's the next time I do it, it's going to automatically name it to solid 3. So now I'm going to just change the size of this so that it's inside here a little bit, and you try to line it up the best you can. I'm not gonna take too much time doing this, so I'm gonna go Control D. Now, before you do this, you want to make sure this is exactly the way you want it in here before you start creating these. But you can come back. Don't worry, you can come back and fix them still. But when I'm done here, I'm gonna pre-compose these so they're all in one, so it's not so messy looking. So I'm gonna go Control D again and see how I made it solid 3. Now I'm just going to left click here again, and I'm going to drag down, and I'm just going to move it over a little bit. It should be okay there. I mean, Control D. It's hard to tell when you got it animated already. So now I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to left click and drag it down a little bit, move it over a little bit, and I'm going to do the same thing again. You can do this as many times as you want, and or you don't have to do it at all. You can just leave it blank if you want, or just do one. And I'm going to do it again. Control D. And I'm just doing this in real time so you can see it's not difficult. This is really simple to do. There's no rocket science behind After Effects. It just entails you using it. You just got to get in and use it. So let me hit play and show you what it looks like. See how it gets that little record player look, I guess. So I thought it was kind of cool. And like I said, you can change the coloration in here. You can do anything you want if you don't like it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select all of these. I'm going to select one, and then I'm going to go right up and select the rest of them. I got a laptop, so it's a little bit harder to do because I don't have a separate mouse. And I'm going to do pre-compose. And I'm going to make sure I select this here, move all attributes, and click OK. And now I'm going to play. Now, the cool thing about that is once you pre-compose it, you move it, you can resize it, and you don't have to have individual. You can do it all at once, um, and they all move. So now we have a nice little animation. Well, I mean, I guess it's all right. I mean, you can do whatever animation you want. This is just to show you can do this with any shape. And like I said, the variable is how you change it yourself. So let's go ahead and import the a graphic background or a background. So what I'm doing is I'm doing an MP4. You don't have to do it, an animated one. This one has rain in the back of it and a little flickering of the light. So I'm going to drag it down here so that we can see our animation. So as you can see, our animation is not sticking out very good. So coloration, depending on your background, you really want to set your color to complement your background. I didn't do a very good job of that, but I'm also going to use a hue and saturation. So we're going to go to effects and preset, and this is really simple. Just type in hue and saturation, or just start typing hue. And like I said, if you don't see it, go up here to Windows and go to Effects and Presets. And now what we're going to do is we're going to left click on hue and saturation, and we're going to drag it over to the MP4, or in my case, in your case, it might just be a JPEG. But go ahead and drag it onto your background, and now you'll see this pop up. So under Master and Lightness, we're going to drag it down so that it darkens it up a little bit. And you'll see that it starts showing up a little bit more. So now what I would probably do is I would probably go back, and let me show you real quick, because we pre-composed it, but that doesn't mean this is gone. So if you double click this, they all come back and you'll see them right here. See this right here? Now, if you want to go back to your comp, you can just come over here. So now if I come over here, I'm going to go ahead and select the lower one. I'm going to select the lower one, and I'm just going to change the color. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go to like an orange color, and then I'm going to do maybe a yellow here to see if it stands out more, and click OK. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the next one. I'm going to go orange, click OK. And this is trial and error. So that's why I said the best thing to do is put your background in there, get it in there. That way you can see what you're working with and you know if your colors are going to work with your background. And if you want to test it, we just come back over to comp one. And as you can see, that's starting to stick out more. So I would just keep doing that. But I'm not gonna waste your time going through that. Let me show you how you can animate your logo or any uh, any icon or anything that's PNG that you can import in here that doesn't have a background. Simple to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the MP3. We're going to start with this first. So, and this is easy. Just bear with me. It's really simple, and I'm going to go really slow. Right click the MP3. Right click on it, and then go to Key Assist and convert audio to keyframes. And then you're going to see this pop up, audio amplitude. Now, hit the arrow here and then click the arrow underneath effects. Now, I want you to select, you're going to see left channel, right channel, and both channels. We're going to select left channel, then hit Control and select the right channel. Now hit backspace so they delete. Now you're going to select the arrow next to both channels, and you'll see slider here. So what we need to do now is bring in our logo, or whatever you're planning on animating. Anything you're planning on animate, bring it in now. And we're just going to drop it in here. And we're going to go right to the arrow. We're going to select the arrow next to it. We're going to select the arrow next to transform. And then over scale, hover over scale, hold the control button down, and then left click. Now you're going to see this transform plus scale. Well, we don't have to type anything in here because there's an easy way to do this. You should, under audio amplitude, you should see the slider here. And under scale, you should see this wonderful little expression pick right here. Well, we're going to left click on it, hold, and then just draw a line all the way to this slider. And once the slider highlights like that, let go. You've just created what you would have had to type. Now we're just going to hold Control and plus, and then we're going to hit the bracket, the left bracket, and that'll create the double bracket. Now we're just going to type in 100, comma 100, and then just click over here. And now go ahead and hit your play. So as you can see, the logo's all the way over here, and it's huge, right? So if you want the logo that big, that's fine. So if you weren't doing the spectrum and you were just doing the logo, you could just have your logo there bouncing around. That's great. Now, if not, if you just wanted your logo moving or your other whatever you're trying to animate, and if it's too big, start by just cutting it down in half and just type 50 here. And then we're going to go ahead and click out here again, and you'll see it change size. So the size, if this is the size you're looking for, go run with it. And then you just hit play, and that's pretty much it. So, and that's it, my friend. So, I mean, I did it quick, so it's not pretty, but you get the point. So you can just mess around with the colors, mess around with the shapes, and um, and that's pretty much all there is to it. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment below. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And please consider liking and subscribing. All right, have a great night. Thank you.